Today's interview on the Wildcats Network is only possible through the support of Team Steve Lamani at Realty One Group. Team Steve Lamani at Realty One Group offers unparalleled knowledge of the Westmoreland real estate market. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned seller, Steve Lamani at Realty One Group is here to guide you every step of the way. Give the team a call at 724-972-1543. or via email at steve@teamlamani.com. Thank you, Steve Lamani, for your generous support of the Wildcats Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's WPIAL basketball doubleheader here at the Wildcat Den. Our first game of the night is between the Greater Latrobe Lady Wildcats and the Penn Trafford Warriors, followed by the Uniontown Red Raiders facing off against your undefeated Greater Latrobe Wildcats. And before their game against Penn Trafford, I'm now joined by Head Coach Mackenzie Livingston of the Greater Latrobe Lady Wildcats. And Coach, you guys are 4-2 to start the year, 1-0 in section play. It kind of feels like the complete opposite of what happened at the start of the year last year. So what would you say has stood out from the start this season through the first 6 games?
Yeah, so it's definitely nice to get some wins in December this year. So the girls are definitely on the right track. You know, the experience right now, Carly's, leading. That experience is kind of wearing off on the girls. So, and I think, a few of the matchups kind of matched up well against this year already. So that's been a bonus as well.
And part of your strong start to the season has been through the duo of Carly Burke and Maggie Myers. It was kind of expected that they would lead in production at the beginning of the season. So what can you say about the growth of the connection? Because last year they didn't really spend that much time playing, but it seems like now they're picking up and they're pretty much doing seamless right now.
Yeah, I mean, those two, you can see it in practice. You can see it even after practice. They're working together. And that connection, like you said, I mean, it's fairly new. For it to click within, 6 games that fast, it's incredible. Carly's able to see, the gaps in there and get it to Maggie, and her finishing lately, it's impressive for a sophomore. So they're doing an incredible job.
And in addition to Carly and Maggie this year, you also have some experienced players that got some time last year. Kenzie Johnson, Bria Vrilla, Miley Williams, and Bradley Bodnar all play key minutes this year through the start of the year. Just what can they do as far as factoring in at any moment? What's it like, and how have they really connected with the group?
Yeah, so especially this, the past week with our past 2 games, the past 2 wins, everybody's been looking to score. Bradley will drive it in, Bree looking to shoot the ball. Kenzie's getting even more shots out and around the 3-point line, even though she's 6 foot. So those girls have really taken on that new role. I told them, we got to have at least 3 to 4 girls scoring close to double digits, and they've taken that personally the past few weeks. So that's kind of been their mentality going into this next game. And I think, they've definitely taken that next step, and it's been awesome to watch.
And with how you guys have started the season, and even going back to last year, defense has led the way for you guys. You guys have 3 games so far this year where you've allowed 30 points or less. I think that's pretty good. What have you liked so far on the defensive end throughout the first 6 games?
It's still a work in progress. If you came to one of our practices, they would say Coach is still not happy. But I will say, already, being able to work with them in the summer, the fall, just the improvement from last year, even starting out. The help defense is getting much better. We're more aggressive in the full court, but we have, more speed this year, I'd say. We're very guard heavy. So I think that is something to our benefit this year, being able to full court press. So I've been very, very pleased with our skills in the full court and just their communication. The girls are always talking on defense. So with that, I've been happy. Our zone defense, we're still working on that, so we'll get it.
It's better to work now.
Yes, exactly.
And ahead of your game tonight against Penn Trafford, it is a tough test. They are a really good team. The number 3 team in 5A, a section opponent for you guys. What will you guys have to do in order to limit the damage that they can do as a team and give yourselves the best chance to win for the first time on your on the new Wildcat Den?
Yeah, we're finally home. We're excited about it. Yeah, no, they're a really good team. Hats off to them. They've had an incredible start. But I know our ability, our defense, they like to shoot the 3 ball. So I told our girls we got to get out on the shooters, got to close out on them, and our help defense has got to be there when they're ready to drive. We got to be ready to rotate, and our girls have prepped now for about a week, so we're ready for them. And like I said, we're going to pressure the ball. We're going to pressure them like crazy. So I think those are keys to success, and then limit our turnovers always. You do that and you'll win just about any game. So, and attack. I like to attack the rim. So that's kind of our mindset tomorrow.
Coach, thank you, and best of luck against Penn Trafford.
Thank you.
And for more on the second game of our doubleheader tonight, here's head coach Brad Wetzel. Now joined by Greater Latrobe head coach Brad Wetzel ahead of their game tonight against the Uniontown Red Raiders. And coach, with your 5-0 start to start the year and your 75-71 victory on Friday against Gateway to open section play, what would you say has been the most impressive part of your start to the season?
Well, that's a pretty easy question. I think the most impressive thing has just been the grittiness that we've shown. A lot of cliches out there about team's toughness. It's one of those things, when you see it, you know it, and this team doesn't shy away from a scrap. And I think that's been we've been hanging our hat on here the last couple games.
And over the past couple of games, the past three in particular, you've needed to use some second-half comebacks and some fourth-quarter comebacks. In particular, Mars and Gateway were double-digit comebacks. But in the second half, it was either a sense of trading baskets in the second half or getting those double-digit deficits to overcome them. So what has been so neat about kind of that comeback cat feature?
Well, I think it's just been sticking to, we've had lapses and we've had some bad minutes, but no one's pushed the panic button. Everyone seems to be on the same page. Not pretty at times, but the guys have knuckled down when necessary. And, even when we're playing bad, it's not really an effort thing, an execution thing. So we expected those types of lapses this time of year. Nice to see is the guys sticking with the system and not panicking and going off and going rogue and trying to do everything themselves. They've really made these comebacks as a team.
And we talked right after the Hempfield game about Max averaging 20-plus in the first three games. He still is averaging 20-plus throughout the first 5 games. And we know that Max is a special player over the past 3 years. But whenever he's playing at a level like this, what does it allow each of the 5 that's with him to do on the court?
That's a good point. I think that everybody's kind of allowing everyone to be themselves. And the nice thing about this team, Max has got a great basketball IQ, and he knows, what a good shot is versus, not a great shot. Everybody seems to be sharing the ball, and the open guys getting the ball, and that's what's nice. I mean, Max has many roles on this team. Because he is a special player, like you mentioned. Some nights we're going to have to win, I think, with him not scoring as much. There's guys that aren't scoring as much that are going to have to have a couple big nights. That's how basketball is when you got a full team. And so special player, rebounds well. You didn't mention his rebounding stats. He's having some really good rebounding games. That's what's been nice. Ian DeSerb, the best player on the floor for minutes here and there. John's been quite the catalyst in the engine. Andy's been an energizer for us. I'd go down the line. Kyle McNeil's been extremely vital because he stays within the confines and uses his talents and speed. Just everybody seems to be letting each other do their thing. And that's been nice.
You kind of just rattled off the starting lineup, which is where I'm going next here. You knew coming into the season that you would have at least 4 out of 5 players that started a majority of your games last year with Kyle, Ian, John, and Max. But the one outlier this year that's been in the lineup has been Andy Tash, who has really come into his own in the past 2 games, averaging 15 points over the past 2 games against Mars and Gateway. What have you liked from Andy's game, playing alongside Ian down low and being kind of that energizer, like you said?
Well, we saw it this summer. And, when we got back to school in the fall, he had solidified himself as one of our starting 5, if you will. Really, I mean, you look, Rich, at our team, you can go to 1 through 7 on given nights. Any one of them can play as much as another. But Andy's just been given a tremendous effort. One thing that we stat that doesn't make it into the papers and things like that is deflections. Especially during some of the periods where we've struggled as a team, the one constant has been Andy's effort and his ability to get his hand on loose balls and make deflections. So, he's just been a real positive force for us. And the last couple of games, like you said, he's even scored some baskets for us. So that's an added bonus.
And tonight, you face off against one of the premier teams in WPIAL basketball in the Uniontown Red Raiders. It's a premier matchup, doubleheader tonight at the Den. What will you guys have to do in order to stay undefeated overall and move to 2-0 in section play?
We're going to have to get out of the gate better. That's for sure. There's going to be an ebb and flow to the game if it's the pace that I'm anticipating for sure, but we're going to have to get out of the gate better. You don't want to let Uniontown step on you from the beginning because it can be a very difficult task try and get your bearings after they've got you rattled. So just a tremendous team, and all the accolades that go their way. It's well deserved. We're going to have to play, to answer your question, Rich, we're going to have to play tremendous defense, team basketball on the other end. The ball's going to have to move, and it's going to have to get shared, probably as little dribbling as we possibly can. But it's going to be we're excited. We're looking forward to the opportunity.
Coach Wetzel, thank you and best of luck against the Red Raiders.
Thanks, Rich. See you later.